Ugh. What is going on? What the heck? Why am I frozen? Give me a second. Oh, so weird. Hmm. Okay, there we go. What's up, guys? Today is stream number 8. Look at my hair. Look how crazy it is. I've had so much going on, and I took a few days off. Unfortunately, I said I might do something like that, and then I said follow me on Twitter, and then I would warn everybody, but I really didn't. If you see in the background over there, I actually have been like moving from my old apartment to this current one, and it's been pretty difficult. A pretty difficult move because, ugh. And then this messed up again. I gotta figure out what's going on with this camera. Let's see if I can restart this. Okay. Alright, yeah, like I said, it's been a difficult move just because I had to get rid of a bunch of stuff. And I had to go through everything, and then there was a bunch of construction going on. And, but I'm finally catching up on sleep. I've been a little sick. Every time I like start an intro to a stream, I feel like I complain a lot. But let me complain a little bit more because I reached out to the Flow on Twitter, and he basically posted about a new exploit for the Vita that he found. And I think I found something that might help him a few years ago, and so I basically sent him a message saying, "Hey, I found something that might be useful," and he said, "Go ahead and create like a proof of concept or something and send it over to me." So I was over in that area with my Vita with this code that I wrote that I was running on it, and I was trying to film it with my camera, but my camera kept dying, and I was putting it between my knees and playing the Vita with my hands and trying to record, but the camera died, so I had to like, oh, I don't, man, this is quite annoying. Okay, so I was playing the Vita over there recording, and the phone kept dying, so I plugged it into the wall. What is going on? Is the cable broken? Give me a second. What's up, Galactic Discat? Thanks everybody for joining. I'm having a little bit of technical issues. I moved, and I think I'm using a dead HDMI cable, so I'm gonna see if I can fix that. Okay, let's see what happens. So I think the cable might be messed up. Usually I have a little bit of an issue with the face cam, but I think it's the cable. I was moving, and I think I replaced it with a bad cable. But anyways, back to my story. I was working on this code. My phone died. I was trying to record, so I had to like stand right next to the wall over there and record. And I had my phone between my knees, playing the Vita, and then I realized I needed to change one thing, so I had to run back over to this computer to change it. And whenever I did, I kicked a barbell for working out, like a really heavy weight bar that's on the floor. You can't see it, but it's behind the bed over there, and my toes felt like they shattered to pieces or something. Like they hurt so bad, like they still hurt, and I like ran around my house yelling and being very loud. But okay, that's my story for the day. But let's get back to streaming, because I've been really looking forward to it. We made a lot of progress last time, and I really want to know where I left off, actually. So I'm going to just go ahead and open up real quick on and prompt this folder. Get it ready for us. Wait a minute, actually, there. And wait, Did I open the last thing I opened in VS Code? And so I've been dealing with that move. But 2 days ago, Circuit Dude actually for the iOS platform was trending for a while because it was featured as the game of the day for the App Store, which is super super cool. I guess somebody figured out, you know, they learned about it or something, and they really liked it, and they submitted it internally, and it was featured for some reason. That is not the game. What we want to happen. Interesting. I want to do. That's what. All right, so let's take a look at where we're at with the Circuit Dude. I think, yeah, I made a list right here, stuff we wanted to do. Last time we did so much. We slid between tiles, on enter, on leave, changing and swapping the tiles in the map, and then something for level completion. And so it looks like we're doing teleportation and conveyor belt movement. And falling to your death, can enter, can leave. That seems like it might take just a few hours to do that, but it might be perfect. Go ahead and look at the status of. Oh, oh yeah, that's right. It is kind of fast. Or it's stuttering, but relatively responsive. Cool. So we got that stuff working. Let's go ahead and work on the conveyor belt movement, because I think where we left off, that might be the easiest to pick up. So we have on enter, a function that we call, or procedure I should say. And I'll beat a few levels real quick and get to the conveyor belt to help illustrate the point. Oh, I think I can touch this. Yeah, there we go. So if I go left, what should happen is it should fire the on enter for here for this tile, this one. And when it does that, it should tell the game to move Circuit Dude to the left. And so right now we're just doing exit the procedure, but what do we do to move Circuit Dude to the left? Move Dude, and then we give him a direction. Okay, so this might just work. This might work. So on B, move Dude left. That might be as simple as it is. Up, left, down, and right. Compile that, see what happens. HSPC, is that what it's called? HSPC circuit do.pause. I'll resize this. Unknown identifier on line 304. Oh, it's again, we have to move the function for call it. So we have to move the procedure before on enter. If that breaks anything. 11. Okay. So on leave is called whenever you move circuit, dude. That one definitely needs to go before. Ah, he moves. You see that? Ooh, baby. Alright, let's see a more complex movement where we have like a chain of conveyor belts. Maybe one that helps illustrate. Oh, that was a good one. Yeah, but I passed it. Let's move. I should land on the button whenever I do this. Okay, so something funny is that I can actually enter the conveyor belt from like a direction like this. I shouldn't be able to. And the reason I shouldn't be able to do that is because a level like this, where I'm able to land on a button, if I moved onto the conveyor belt, I would flip that button. So this kind of configuration, you should only be able to push the button one time. So I guess that's a good segue into can enter and can leave. Maybe we should do that first to help with the conveyor belt stuff, and then we'll do the teleportation. I think on leave, we'll do it before. And we'll make it a function actually. Function and enter. Takes a direction of an integer, and it returns a boolean. So for now, we'll just make it to where you can always leave and always enter. But where you check that stuff is before entering something, or before leaving something, you check to see if you can leave. And then after, if you check if you can leave or not, then you need to check if you can enter the next spot. So on leave is right here. When we move circuit, dude. So we check the direction here. Set the to tile. And we do the do direction. But what we need to do before we do any of that, if circuit dude can move, we don't just want to move him, we want to check if he can leave. So if not can leave, oh my gosh. One second, I'm gonna end this once and for all. I think there's usually like some sort of thread thing that I use to hold this button down. See if I can do it without that though. So annoying. So apparently the DSLR that I have can do video, but only up to 30 minutes. And that's because of tax reasons. Apparently, if it was any longer than that, then it would be classified as a digital camcorder or something. And I think there's different tax rules for that, and it's taxed at a way higher price. So governments have basically made it to where camera companies have to put a limit on their how long their cameras can stay active. I think mine's 10 minutes, but I put a little thing on it to hold it down, hold down the button, so it'll always be recording. Sometimes the rubber bands flies off. Okay, so if you cannot leave, then what? If you can't leave, then exit the procedure. We don't want to finish the movement stuff. And also, if not can enter, then exit. So these also take parameters, or arguments, I should say. Arguments are the direction. So can enter, basically the way what we're thinking about with this one is if you can enter a tile. So an example of that is this tile right here, this conveyor belt. It's asking, can we enter from that direction, from up? So it's going to be from the direction of the tile. So if we can enter from above, then it'll be true, but we can't in this instance. It's a conveyor belt that's supposed to push us upward. So we shouldn't be able to enter from above. Right now, it'll just push us back up if we try to enter it. And then whenever we want to leave a tile, we want to check to see, for instance, the tile that I'm on now, you can't move up and down, but you can move side to side. So if we're on this tile, we say can leave up, can leave down, those would return false. So kind of like how we have on leave, we'll kind of copy that for can enter. So in the case of the tile that we are entering, let's see, and the tile that we are entering is this 2 tile right here. But how do we access that data with can enter? It's just how do we access this if we want to be able to use it before it's set? Because remember, 2 tile, where is that used? For on enter and food moving greater than 0. I guess that's it. I guess that's it. That's not a big deal. Okay. So what we can do is actually take this stuff right here, move it above, because dude moving is the one that we actually care about. We can do all these changes that we want, as long as dude moving remains -1, then we'll be okay. We don't want to somehow check to see if he can move and then move him for some reason. I hope we don't run into that issue, but I don't think we will. So can enter, and we're looking to the 2 tile X and Y. So we get to this tile. Let's look at some tiles real quick. So conveyor up. So con up. In the case of conveyor belt ups, or the conveyor belts that are pointing up, if well, actually we should say can enter equals to true at the beginning, and then during this switch statement we should actually set it to false. If direction equals to up, down, and then can enter close to false. I think this is what we would basically want to do for all of the pieces. So we have up, down, left, right, up, and then so down is left is right, and right is left. And we can go ahead and compile this. 3, 4, 1. We have an error. Oh, we don't have a direction. Okay. Error in statement 342. Maybe it's because I did not put a semicolon, and it worked. I think. Yep. Okay. Go ahead and put that back on the emulator. Okay, so I can enter the conveyor belt, and it should push me left, which it does. And I shouldn't be able to go right onto it, which I can't. So I'm pushing right, and it's blocking me. Perfect. Let's try from the other directions, just in case. Excellent. So let's take a look at all the tiles real quick and figure out which tiles we can move onto and under what circumstance. So I have a sprite sheet. Oh, it's in the Artivoy folder. Okay, so we have the trap doors, all these buttons. You can step on them from any direction. And then you have the wall. You can't step on the wall any direction. So we should also do that. So if it's block, which is just a wall tile, then can enter equals to false. You can't enter a block no matter which direction. And then, oh, an LED. You can't go through LEDs either, no matter what. So LED and LED on. And let's see. Oh, you also can't enter onto a chip. So in chip I is chip in, the chip is plugged into the socket. And we did the conveyor belts, and then the last ones are these tunnels, which I haven't really shown off too much. They're a little complicated, but we'll go ahead and just program them out real quick. So for a horizontal tunnel, what did I call them? Oh, there we go. They're rotational tunnels. They're rotating tunnels. So a horizontal tunnel that goes, so you can only enter from the sides. You can't go up and down. So if direction is equal to left, or I don't remember how to do or in Pascal. Yes, and or direction equals to right, and enter. Let's do the horizontal vertical real quick. That one makes more sense. You can't enter left or right. But let's compile that real quick and see what happens. I think I might get an error because, yeah, I think I need to put parentheses for some reason around these. Or perhaps I need to put parentheses around this entire composite comparison. That worked. I'm going to go ahead and just fill these out again, like I said, now that we got the syntax down. So the vertical one's done, horizontal one, you can't enter from up or down. So up, down. What's up, dog says what's up. No, what's up says what's up, dog on Twitch. How's it going, man? And Raj is here too. Hey, what's going on, Raj? We're implementing can enter and can leave. So right now we're doing can enter. We also did the conveyor belts too, so you automatically move whenever you step onto a conveyor belt. It's pretty cool. Appreciate you guys joining me. Do you know TKINTER? What's up? I don't know what that is, but feel free to put in the chat what it is and I'll look into it. The move did not go super well. It's actually been very taxing on me, which is why I took a few extra days off to kind of get stuff done. And if you look in the background, way past me, like way over there, you can see boxes and stuff I still have to go through. My goal when moving was to get rid of 25% of the stuff I own. I like to downsize whenever I move, and I think I'm pretty close to it. Maybe like 20% downsized. So I'm still going through some more stuff to get rid of. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, man. Yeah, I don't really do a lot of Python stuff, but you know, it's something that I might go into later on for the Pi badge and PyGamer. But just at the moment right now, I'm working with the Palm Pilot, which doesn't use Python at all. All right, so we did these horizontal and vertical tiles right here. There's 4 others. These like the top left corner, top right corner, bottom left, and bottom right. They're a little bit tricky, but do the top left one real quick. If you are on the left, left of it, and you're moving right, then you can't enter. And if you're moving up, or if you're moving from above, you can't enter. Which means if your direction is equal to down, or your direction is equal to right, then you can't enter it. MicroPython to Pascal to Palm, that would be insane. But this high-speed Pascal is pretty cool because apparently it compiles down to like native binaries. So it should be fast enough to be able to handle something like that. MicroPython, I've never actually used it before, but from what I've heard, is really cool. All right, so we did one rotation. Let's just kind of copy and paste this code too. So we did top left, top right, bottom left, and bottom right. So if you're moving down onto this, you can't. If you're moving left, you can't. Bottom left is right onto it, or up onto it, and up, and I think that might be right. And that should be all the tiles. So go ahead and just compile this and play around with it to test it out. All right, so we shouldn't be able to walk through walls now, or these LEDs, which works. And go to the rotation buttons, rotation pieces. Okay, so as soon as I walk through this tile, you can see how it rotates 90 degrees and it becomes like a horizontal one instead of vertical. So I shouldn't be able to go into that, which looks to be what's going on. Should be able to go up through this one though. Okay, so I can't go through it horizontally or vertically for that one. Okay, so those look fine. And get to some rotation ones. Okay, this all seems fine too. So I want to go ahead and just pretend like I did it perfectly. So we did can enter. Now we have to do can leave. Because similar to how if you can enter some tiles, some of them you're not allowed to leave. But it's just a few. So if you're on a conveyor belt that's moving left, and let's say there's something blocking your way, and you move left onto it, you can move up and down to step on or off of the conveyor belt, but you cannot move the opposite direction of where the conveyor belt's going. So let's kind of copy paste this and do the conveyor belts first again. These blocks we don't need to waste code putting in there. So conveyor belt going up. Okay, so it looks like this code is going to be the same too. Because if you're on a conveyor belt that goes up and you try to go down on it, you can never do that. Java Jack says, I did impulse buy the Steam version of Circuit Dude after seeing one of the earlier streams in the series on YouTube. Dude, Java Jack, thanks man. I appreciate that. How'd you come across my streams? I'd be interested in seeing that and hearing about that. I think most of the people who viewed them as I streamed them, not necessarily like after the fact. So if you found it somehow, I'd love to hear it. Oh, the Reddit. Okay. Yeah, the Palm Pilot Reddit. That's really cool, man. I saw the alerts come up that you subscribed to me, and I was like, oh, who's this? Did I talk to him before? It's cool that a few more people are checking out my streams and growing a little bit. But also, I think, let me check real quick. I got an email. I'll try to minimize this a little bit so you're not blinded by anything too personal. But yeah, I got an email earlier. Let's see, what time is it? It's 8:05, so an hour ago. I got this email about games being on sale on Steam, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Circuit Dude is also on sale for 50% off because of the Steam Summer Sale that just started. So if you just bought it, I don't know if Steam will do some sort of price match or something to get you that discount, but it's 50% off now. Okay, let's jump back into the game. So for the rotational pieces, it looks like they're working for can enter, but can leave is going to be kind of the inverse. So if you have a vertical up and down tunnel, you can't move left and right to get out of it. So we'll just switch these around. Actually, it looks like the values are the same. Can enter, can leave equals false if the direction is left and right. Okay, that makes sense. And rotation left or top left if the direction is down. Okay, these are the ones we have to change, because if you're going down, you can leave, but if you're going up, you can't leave if you're the top left corner piece. You can move right, so let's just flip these up, down, right, right. Okay. So compile it again, and let's run it. All right, here we go. So if I'm standing on this tile underneath me, I shouldn't be able to move to the right or down. I should only be able to move up. And when I leave it, it'll rotate this piece. So, oh, looks like I ruined it, actually. Can't enter any of them. So I am off a little bit. Let's see, what tile is this? Oh, frick. Okay, so the one underneath me is the bottom left. I should be able to enter it from above or the right. Left, above, or the right. Did I change this by accident? Why did I set that to false? So the bottom right tile, I enter it from above. My direction is up. No. Or if it's left, can I enter it? No. Huh. Can leave. Maybe maybe I'm calling can leave improperly. Oh, I think, you know what? I am calling it wrong. So can leave should use from tile, not to tile. Because I'm checking if I can leave from my current tile. I'm checking if I can enter into a different tile. So to tile, I'll just put from tile. And we'll recompile this. How much are you cribbing from all your other platform versions to do this version? What do you mean? What do you mean by cribbing, Java Jack? Cribbing? Not familiar with that term. Okay, so I can't enter, it looks like, onto these tiles properly, and I can't go through them and leave in the wrong direction. So it looks like these are working perfectly. Oh yeah, so I've programmed this game like 20 times already, but I do have the code for the Arduboy version right here, and I feel like I could go through and figure that out. For instance, I have a function similar to can enter and can leave, but I probably program them a little bit differently. Yeah, so I probably programmed them a little bit uglier because of the Arduboy using basically it has 32 kilobytes of memory, so it has to be really condensed. So normally I would put like a switch statement, but apparently it's a little bit more, a little bit easier to save memory if I do a bunch of if statements. So I just kind of want to keep my code for the Palm Pilot a little bit nicer. And I'll reuse this code for the Pocket PC and the what is it called? The handheld PC port that I'm gonna do eventually. And I will. The longer you're here on the stream, you'll see me jump over to this from time to time to kind of look at it. But like I said, I've programmed this game like 20 times, so. And it's kind of intuitive too, to be honest. It's just a really simple game. All right, so we have can enter and can leave. Those are pretty much complete. We have teleportation and we have falling to your death. A teleportation is pretty straightforward. And what it looks like is you stand on this tile right here, and you're supposed to teleport all the way over to the other tile. But of course it doesn't work. So we have to do some sort of on enter event for it. And on enter is over here. And it looks like we do a move dude to set the movement for circuit dude. But whenever we're on a conveyor belt. But for teleport, we just exit out of the procedure. Let's go ahead and do a teleport dude, tele dude. And we'll look at the function for move dude and base our code off of that. I don't know if we need variables. So when we teleport circuit dude, he should always have a dude moving of, I think, 0. So we're not going to put this check in. And I don't know if we need to set his direction, but I'm going to do that anyways. I'm going to set his direction to okay. because we have up, down, left, right, and stay. I don't think stay is used anywhere. It just will help mitigate any issues that can come from like spaghetti code for movement. And to tile and from tile. So what we're going to do is pretty much do the same thing. We'll set the from tile to be is the dude X, dude Y current tile. Of course, we went over this a few streams ago. And then we're going to set the to tile. Instead of like some offset and searching around based off of direction, we're going to search for the other teleporter in the level and then jump to that one, set to tile to that. To tile X. But for now, let's do we want to instantiate, well, not instantiate, but we want to basically set these to the from tiles locations, because if for whatever reason somebody makes a custom level that has one teleporter, we want the, if the search doesn't find anything, it doesn't teleport you to some random location or maybe your last location. We want it to teleport you to your from tile, which is where you're currently standing. So it'll teleport you to where you're standing. And we have here a dude moving call. Remember that sets like basically an amount of time that, like, it's like a timer for how long you're moving for. And we could set this to whatever we want. We could set it to like 20, 12, 5, because the teleportation is instantaneous. It moves you, it doesn't slide you. There's no reason we would set the timer to be the size of a tile. And instead of direction being stay, actually never mind, we might go back to that. I'll set that aside for a moment. And I guess we need to figure out what the tile is now. We need some variables here. Okay, so we'll loop through the entire map, and the to tile, the if current map X, is that what we call it? Is it XY or is it Y? Yeah, Y X. If current map at YX is equal to a teleporter, then begin. And we basically want to set the tile to the one, 2, Y. Okay, but we don't want to do that in cases of when it finds itself. If it goes through this entire list of teleportation, like let's say the top left is a tile, a teleporter, and the bottom right is a teleporter. If you go into the top left and we search through all the tiles until we find a teleporter, it's going to find the one you just stepped on instead of the one at the end. So whenever it successfully finds one, it's going to set you to 12 and it's going to exit the loop because it's going to stop looking But let's see. We only want to do that in cases where if y equals to 2 title y and x equals to 2 times x, then continue. We'll just skip over it. Otherwise, we'll go down here and do this stuff. I think when this happens, we also need to do something for the animation too. We don't want to slide him. I think that's what might try to happen. So we'll check that. Okay, so draw dude. If moving. So these are the directions. Instead of calling it stay for the direction, should call it like teleport or something like that. Congrats for getting game of the day. Just found out about you from the PS Vita homebrew stuff. That looks good on the Palm Pilot. I really appreciate that. The red big confused panda. I like your name too. But yeah, I really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Let's see, we're about an hour into the stream already, but I just wanted to throw it out there. If you haven't already subscribed to me on YouTube, please do that. Or Twitch as well. Both of those are like underneath me, like as well as my website. The game that I'm working on is Circuit Dude, and you can find the code for the original Arduboy version on my website as well. Anytime that like I post a new game or something, or I post about my stream, I'll do it on my Twitter, which is down there too, right here. And if you look at the very bottom of that list, you see Mixer, which I forgot to remove. Unfortunately, I think like a third of my audience is from Mixer, but now Mixer's going away, so I'm essentially going to lose a few people. But you know, if you're watching on Mixer, I know a lot of people on Mixer are quiet, but please follow me on Twitch or YouTube instead, and to continue watching me. I'm not sure if I want to stick with YouTube or if I want to do Twitch, but all my VODs and like replays of this is going to be on YouTube eventually, and it just kind of depends on which one I get more audience participation from. If there's more engagement on YouTube, I'll stick to YouTube. If there's more engagement on Twitch, I'll probably do Twitch more. So whenever you guys are chatting and whatever you're saying, you know, it really helps me kind of determine that. So thank you. Okay, so when we're drawing Circuit Dude, we are looking here to see if we should draw him or not, because he's gonna actually, you know what, let me pull up the emulator. No, wait, actually that doesn't work. Wait, maybe it does. If you want to play the Arduboy version of Circuit Dude, you can do that right now with the Arduboy forum link. Just Google Circuit Dude Arduboy, and you'll find my release post about it. And on the post, there's actually an emulator that you can play in the browser without downloading anything. It's pretty cool. But I'll make a simple level real quick, custom level, which the level editor will also be in the Palm Pilot version as well. But this will be kind of to help illustrate what these tiles do. So whenever I move onto the teleporter, it should teleport me, and I like ping pong back and forth for a little bit. and then I'm able to move around on the other one, and I can, of course, teleport back. So, so what we want to do is determine if Circuit Dude is teleporting, and if he is, then we're basically going to not draw him. So in this draw dude function, what I'm going to do is also have a boolean, which will be called maybe just called draw. I'll call it draw, and draw will always be true, except for whenever the direction of dude is stay. And then before drawing Circuit Dude, we'll just check if draw. Then but like I said earlier, stay is not a good name for the direction. We'll just call it teleport. Yeah. Teleporting is nice. And so whenever we wait a minute. Okay, it's already used elsewhere. I guess we'll make a new direction called teleporting. I totally forgot about that. So if he's not being drawn whenever he's teleporting, then yeah, I guess he'll just disappear. Let's see if that works real quick. And then I got an idea for how we can basically draw between the two. I forgot which level has the teleporter. Kind of far. Here we go. He just disappeared for good. He just disappeared for good. Okay, so we obviously have a problem. Toy Dude is possibly setting his direction to Telly. But then not doing this portion of it. So maybe we can comment this out and see what happens. Oh, dang it. Oh well. Teleporting. See, I'm still here, but I can't move. Okay, so I set it to So if dude moving equals to 0, then set dude moving to -1 and dude direction to stay. That happens every frame if dude moving is 0. And then also every frame, dude moving is decreased by 1. So the fact that I changed this to teleporting doesn't make sense. Or it doesn't seem like it's part of the problem. It just makes it hard for me to see where my dude went. So since he's still right there, it makes me think that he didn't actually teleport. Which I think move dude, of course, move dude is setting the beginning of the slide for the movement, but it's not the finalization of the slide. So do tile X. Let's see what happens to that variable. Look, okay, actually, you know what? Look at that. So I do on enter every time I land on a new spot. But what I should do, if not on enter, well, actually, if not dude direction teleporting, then if I'm not teleporting, then I need to do something. But on enter will move my circuit dude. So if I set direction to stay, and then I call on enter, it'll, well, if I do it, if I do it after this, how can I get that working right? Maybe on enter. Maybe on enter should maybe on enter should return something if you're going to stay there or not, or if it's going to move you somewhere else. So if on enter, then so not, if not on enter, and on enter will now be a function, and it will return a boolean, and on enter is normally going to be false, but whenever you teleport somewhere or move somewhere, this okay, teleportation as well. Oh, dang it. Okie dokie. Tariq, I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for the encouragement. Thank you. All right, so on enter is going to be true if it moves you somewhere else. Otherwise, on enter will be false. So if on enter is false, then your direction is going to be stay. Otherwise, the moving is going to handle your do direction. So go ahead and run this real quick. I don't think it'll change anything for teleporting. I don't think it'll fix anything, but maybe it'll be a happy surprise. Well, I can move after landing on it. On enter is false. If not on enter, thing. If do direction is not teleporting, then I'm going to do the on enter. Oh, I'm not doing this. Commented that out for teledude, for that procedure. Let's see if that actually fixes this. So it looks like on enter is not firing. So on enter. Well, okay, so on entering is not firing. On enter is not firing for the chips. So possibly not firing for anything else, including the teleportation, including the conveyor belts. So there is something we're doing wrong here. If do direction is not teleporting, so if he's not teleporting, which he never is until he stands on a teleporter, then we're going to try this on enter. Raj wants me. Oh, okay. Raj is saying if not do direction equals teleporting. I think not do direction wouldn't compile, right? I don't think that would overtake it. But you could be right. It's the only time we use something like that. Oh, whoa. Actually, Raj, you may be right, man. Look at that. Okay, so the on enter is firing again. I would have never guessed that, honestly. Never would have guessed that. Okay, let's see if the teleportation does anything now. Oh, dang it. Almost went too far. Alright, so teleportation does not do anything. Oh, okay, so before I forget, for can enter, we definitely don't want to be able to enter outside the boundaries of 2-tile of the size of the map. So, for instance, if 2-tile y is equal to or is greater than map. Do I have a map height? Map width? I had something like that. So if it's bigger than 13, then and enter else and exit. We do the same thing with 0. It's less than 0. And then we also need to do the x direction as well. There's probably a little bit better, nicer way to write this, but it gets the point across. And I just want to test that real quick. And then we can go back to teleporting. So if I go down, I shouldn't be able to move down again. Oh, I can. And maybe I didn't move it over. So, okay, so maybe I'm just off by one value. Oh, wait a minute. I keep doing this. Get the X and Y mixed up a little bit. Okay, so I can't go down. Can't go up. Left. Now let's find a level where I can go right. Great. It's like it needs to only handle one truthy falsy, so you need to wrap in one in brackets for it to work out. Yeah, that's kind of odd. I figured that maybe not was a special keyword. Like not was part of the if, like if not was combined together or something, but I guess that makes total sense. So we have that. Go back to teleporting. So dude direction equals to teleporting, because where he could end up on the map could be literally anywhere. The from tile is basically the tile it's at now, and the to tile will be its current tile until it finds a new tile, new teleportation tile. I'm just going to call this from tile Y and from tile X to make it a little bit more explicit. Even though the first loop through, they should be the same. And we'll set this to dude moving to 500. Or, yeah, 5,000. So this, if it works, this is a good way to debug. I shouldn't be able to move if dude moving is really high. So we'll see if I can teleport and then immediately move right afterwards. And I can. So that means that this section of code is not even firing. Hmm. Hmm. Tariq, you mentioned your M5 stick. I'd be interested in seeing some more pictures of that. I really haven't seen what people can do with it beyond making a watch or, making a little game console. You're talking about using a rover with it? Pretty cool. I'm gonna take this out just in case to see what happens. Hmm. I guess that really doesn't have anything to do with it either. Maybe it's not finding a teleportation. On, enter. Oh, how could I forget? How could I forget? How Dude is never called anywhere. It's a dangling function. My gosh. That's super important. You need to be able to teleport him. This should do something, I think. So I do teleport, and well, I don't teleport, but I do disappear. I'm not drawn anymore until 12 frames, it looks like, go through. About 1 second or something. So it's just not teleporting me to the other pad at the point. It teleports me to the same pad. So that real quick. It teleports me. So I imagine that one of two things could be happening. One, it's not finding a teleportation pad to teleport me to, or two, it's teleporting me over there, but then teleporting me back immediately. So that's why I was wanting to look at what this 2 tile was for earlier. So I set these 2 tiles, and then dude moving. Hmm. Crazy. So I think maybe the 2 tile is just used to be a guide for. I see. Okay, so it looks like I used 2 tile. I set 2 tile to be a guide and to basically be a helper value for this draw map tile, so that we can refresh the tiles underneath and underneath where he's moving from and where he's moving to. So whenever we do that, we're basically only using 2 tile as a helping value. What we're really using is do timer and direction. Do direction to we're using do direction to help figure out where we want to draw him. But then whenever dude moving is equal or is greater than -1, looks like we're setting what do we do on enter? Yeah, I think I know what the issue is. The issue is that I'm just setting the values to be red, and they're not ever used to be. They're not ever used to move him around. They're just used to for aesthetic purposes. The actual code that moves him is what is it called? Moving, dude, moving. So I use this timer to move him around. Let's find where I actually put him in place. Wait a minute, dude moving. Hmm. This is a little bit of a puzzle. I feel like my issue is somewhere around here, where I'm setting dude X. So see, I have dude X, dude Y right here. Hmm. But I don't. I set it based off